We finally know what's happening with the Oblivion remaster. And, well, it's not looking good. In fact, it's looking pretty bad. It looks like Microsoft, Xbox, and Bethesda themselves have absolutely no real hopes for this. Because this thing is gonna get dropped on Xbox Game Pass day one. Listen, even South of Midnight was dropped on Xbox Game Pass with a pre-order option for $10 if you wanted to play it early, which is ridiculous because I hope they made at least $100 by doing that because no one gave a shit. But Oblivion, a Bethesda item, getting treated like this is insane. This means they expect nothing. And I mean, honestly, it's a reasonable assumption because think about what's happening with Bethesda currently. Gamers, in the wider sense, literally just hate Bethesda. Starfield was a disaster. Then they doubled down and made the Starfield expansion that was a disaster. Fallout 76 is shit. Fallout 4 was on already loss from grace in most people's opinions. Hell, I honestly think at least 4 was better than the original 3. I'm not gonna lie, boys. I really think that, okay? Say what you will, that's my opinion, I'm sticking to it. But now the Oblivion remaster, I think they're extremely afraid about the idea that people are gonna say, oh, this is another Bethesda lost, another Bethesda L, and stuff like that, like we're all idiots. And, well, it's probably gonna happen because this most likely is gonna be a loss. But they're gonna try to cover up with Xbox Game Pass, and that is what they're constantly, honestly, trying to do. They try to cover up their disasters, their zero sales for so many games with the idea, but oh, it's on the Game Pass. That makes it good. Yeah? Yeah, does it make it good? This is a Bethesda game. We know that 90% of the core audience is going to be on PC because that's where the modding is. Bethesda fans are. In general, modding is a very niche thing, by the way. I just want to emphasize that. In general, modding exists for every game. And for every game, maybe 1% of the player base cares about modding. In Bethesda's case, a lot of people care about modding. Modding is an integral part of the average Bethesda fanboy. So, 90% of the sales for this game are gonna be on PC. It doesn't matter that on Xbox Game Pass it's for free, it's gonna be on PC. Because that's where the modding is gonna happen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So apparently there has been a massive leak for Oblivion Remaster. Now, Oblivion Remaster is the video game that people have been talking about for quite some time that has more leaks and more rumors than Ubisoft at this point. But the thing is, it wasn't always called Oblivion Remaster. It was usually called Oblivion Remake. That's what people thought that it was going to be. But apparently it has just been confirmed that it's going to be a remaster from screenshots that we showed just yesterday. Now, here's the thing, guys. Oblivion
That sounds strange because they said that they are gonna change some ways that, add animations, enemies responding to hits, because otherwise, Oblivion and Morrowind is effectively this. This is the enemy, and this is you just attacking. And then the enemy just drops like this. That's it. And maybe there's a oh sound accomplishing it if you're lucky. That's it.
Remaster has now officially, supposedly anyway, take it with a grain of salt, but has been leaked its release date, which apparently is going to be April 21st. And the way that they got this
April 24th. Now let me Google when is Sky Oblivion coming out. A lot of people have no specific time, which quarter in 2025. Okay, so Sky Oblivion has not given out a official release date anywhere because according to Jeff Grubb, the Oblivion remake, I thought. Because this is what Bethesda has done historically. Whenever someone is threatening to expose Bethesda for being one of the shittiest, skillless, talentless companies in creating games ever, and someone tries to make a mod that's better than them, aka Fallout New London, and stuff like that, Bethesda typically drops something big that ruins its launch. And yeah, I wanted to know if they're gonna do this with Sky Oblivion. Granted, I don't care too much about Sky Oblivion, but Bethesda always tries to, sabotage people because they are insecure about this stuff.
leak was through unconventional means, which was utilizing Xbox support, which, again, that's shocking. But then on top of that, apparently it is going to be coming to Game Pass day one as well. Supposedly, Oblivion
It's kind
Remaster
of
is going to.
it's kind of wild that it's coming to Game Pass day one. I mean, it makes sense because it's a remaster, and no one knows how much this is gonna sell. I don't know. Maybe 500, maybe 5,000, maybe 50,000 people on Steam are going to be playing day one. I don't know. No one knows what to expect from this game, from these numbers. So we're never going to know what is good or what is bad. And a remaster is cheaper than obviously making a new game. So we're not going to know the numbers exactly. I personally don't know the average cost of upping the game's graphics and whatnot, how much that costs. No idea. So yeah, this is gonna be kind of wild.
To be dropping on April 21st. And then on top of that, it is also going to be a Game Pass day one game. Game Pass is literally a monster that requires constant feeding. And the fact that they are sacrificing Oblivion Remastered to Game Pass day one is insane to me. And yet here we are. So let's get into this article, guys, from Insider Gaming. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remaster, which, by the way, if this is coming out, I'm excited. I'm excited to play it. I cannot wait to get my hands on that. I'm a big fan of the Elder Scrolls series, obviously. I love Oblivion. I think most people prefer Oblivion over any of the others, but still, Oblivion Remaster sounds absolutely fucking epic, and I can't wait to get my hands on it if it is real. Giving the world further confirmation that the project is happening, extra details have appeared via surprising source, which was Xbox support. Even though Xbox support isn't particularly privy to release date information, the date and Game Pass leak lineup with the current details. An Oblivion Remaster will light up an otherwise quiet April 2025. There hasn't been much to shout out about this month outside of blueprints and the impending Forza. What are you talking about, bro? What about Claire Obscura Expedition 33? That game's coming out in April. Are you absolutely insane? Everybody,
Yeah, true. I think Clair Obscure Expedition 33 is gonna be pretty average. It's not gonna be the worst, but it's not gonna definitely be the best. It seems that the combat is gonna be kind of fun, even though I'm not 100% sure, considering they have the option to turn off what makes the combat uh, special, which is kind of a red flag in my opinion, honestly. Oh, but yeah, I think the story is gonna be bad. I have already talked about Clair Obscure Expedition 33. It If you don't pay attention to anything, it probably seems like a good idea. But when you pay attention to it, it's like it's a horribly designed world that doesn't make any sense, and it's kind of fucking bullshit. But we're gonna get some good Rule 34 from that bad boy, so I'm pretty excited about that at least.
I'm super excited for that. I don't understand what Insider Gaming is saying, but I guess whatever. But another updated game is all but confirmed to arrive this month, Oblivion Remaster. We've been waiting for an official Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remaster announcement, but Xbox support may have done it from Microsoft. Now, here's the thing. If this game is really coming out on April 21st, what the hell is Xbox waiting for? I don't understand this recent obsession with shadow dropping, aside from trying to avoid any and all potential press, good or bad, until the
Yeah, that seems like it, because they're not getting any good press. And like, what good press are they gonna get?
game actually
Mr. Matty saying, "Oh, I'm excited." Yeah, that's not good press.
releases, which maybe that's a new strategy. Maybe these companies are realizing that the conversation is extremely varied right now in the gaming industry, and maybe shadow dropping is the way that they are trying to avoid conversation about their video game up until
Avoiding conversation does nothing. Shadow dropping a good game is gonna make it. Okay, Baldur's Gate 3 didn't really have any kind of super fucking intense marketing but behind it. I actually personally saw zero marketing for it until people started talking about how great the game is. When this drops, I don't think people are going to be talking about, oh, how great the Oblivion remaster is. I don't. I I don't think Oblivion Remastered is gonna be a game that most people who are currently gamers want to deal with in general.
Till release, or maybe the day before release. Who really knows? But X user Sir Raven18 shared screenshots of an interaction that they had with Xbox support. The service is usually an automated messaging service designed to help players in need, but real operators answer questions too. They ask Xbox support, when will this game be available to play on a cloud gaming? The support operator replied, the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered is set to release on April 21st of 2024.
You're probably thinking, how could this happen? Well, the reality is the person that doing this Xbox support is most likely Indian, obviously. Second of all, if not that, they're 100% not a gamer. Like, the people who do support for companies are not people who are invested in those companies. The person doing support for Xbox is probably not a gamer. They don't care. They don't know.
Five. Oh man, if this is real, Xbox
And also, this most likely was given to them. That is the true mistake, that this information was given to them. They should not have been given any information in general surrounding this. So this is a most likely not the operator's mistake in actuality. It's most likely whoever the hell gave this information out a mistake from.
support, you guys need to work on your systems, because man, the fact that I get it, don't get me wrong, the Xbox support system has all of the internal information that is relayed to it from the Xbox database. So obviously if this game is real and if it's going to be a Game Pass day one game, of course the Xbox support system is going to have that information. But the fact that they uploaded it early and people can abuse it and get the answer from this system is
Also, I am still not confident that everything we know about the Oblivion remake is not leaks by Bethesda. Because again, even if you're expecting a colossal disaster from Oblivion Remake, if you're Bethesda, if you're Microsoft, if you're Xbox, you still at least tweet about it. You still at least do something. You still at least create some kind of buzz or hype. Couldn't and that's why I think these leaks are intentional, actually, because a lot of companies do fake leaks, so people don't think it's pushed out by the media or whatever. One of the most famous attempts, it's an attempt, but it worked at viral marketing, was the Oscar selfie, I think it was. Back in the days when Marvel was still young and we had good movies and Thanos hadn't snapped his fingers. Remember that? That that one, the Oscar selfie, that was an intentional stunt. That was a paid promo by the company. That was not the real thing. They didn't just magically decide that they're gonna do it. Companies do this shit constantly because if it goes big, it's going big.
hilarious to me. But it didn't stop there and continued by adding it is confirmed to be a day one launch title on Xbox Game Pass, which strongly suggests that it will be available for cloud gaming through Xbox Cloud Gaming. Raven also shared a screen recording to show they aren't doctored screenshots. So again, these are all 100% real. If you look here, it says earlier I was told that Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered would be available for cloud gaming. It says the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered is set to release on April 21st, 2025. It is confirmed to be a day one launch title on Xbox Game Pass, which strongly suggests that it would be available for gaming through Xbox Cloud Gaming. And then again, you can see that it was all legit. And then it says various users have also replied to Synth Potato, sharing their similar experiences and interactions with Xbox support. The conversations all go in the same direction, and messages imply that the remaster includes all of the original DLC. Now, we were talking about this on Hypnocast, and we were saying that considering the recent trend that Nintendo is trying to make a thing where they sell you their old games, but they don't give you all the DLC and they charge you maximum price for the DLC of older video games on newer platforms, I was hoping that Oblivion, if it was going to come out as a remaster, was going to include all of the original DLC, even some of the console.
No, no. Why would you ever think that, Hypnotic? What that is a beginner mistake. You should have known that they're obviously not going to include the DLCs because you make a remaster, people are happy with it, then you can charge the DLCs. Because I talked about this last video, right? Making a game is expensive. Making a DLC for a game is ridiculously less expensive, and it is a guaranteed success rate of at least a 25% equivalent sales number. Worst case. Again, unless your Starfield Shattered Space, which sold less than 6%, that had even less than 6% people playing their DLC compared to the original game, which is honestly one of the biggest disasters in gaming history. That number is pathetic. But yes, again, they're never gonna do that. If this is a success, they're gonna do the DLCs. No one knows. They probably already have done the DLCs. They're just gonna pretend they haven't and then release it like a month later, maybe. You don't know, but you know that they're maximizing profits with this. Okay? They're not remaking the Oblivion just because the fans would like it. No, fuck the fans. That's what Bethesda is thinking. Money, money, money.
Gate kept DLC that wasn't available, hopefully it would include all the original DLC. Well, apparently, according to the same Xbox support source, it says that, hello, thank you for contacting Microsoft Xbox support. We hope you're doing good today. This is a live agent. Your case has been forwarded to us for further investigation. Yes, the remastered version of the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion will be available on Xbox Game Pass starting April 21st. This version will include all the DLC from the original game, so you'll be able to enjoy the full experience with enhanced visuals and gameplay improvements. Please let us know if you have any other questions. So again, apparently according to the same source, which take it with a grain of salt because we don't know if this is necessarily true. We don't know if any of this is true. This is one of the most leaked games, I'm telling you, in recent memory. It's insane. But Xbox support isn't known for having sensitive information such as this ahead of time. However, there's a good chance it has access to
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
the rumored Oblivion Remaster store page, which isn't live yet. The date
Do fuck ups like this happen? Yes. But again, it's all suspicious. It's all too suspicious to me. I think this is Bethesda actually doing a good job at spreading rumors and leaks intentionally. Because I don't believe they would not do any marketing. And then, like, before the actual drop of the game, like 2 days ago, they're gonna literally do a trailer announcement, or maybe one day even. Who knows, right? A trailer announcement that it's happening, and that's kind of gonna be it. It's gonna be wild.
given is very specific, and this information pretty much lines up with what we thought. There has been rumors that this game was going to be released in late April, but originally that was obviously as a remake, not a remaster. Now we know it's a remaster. We have screenshots tied to this too. Now we have a release date. So we're basically going to wait and see until April 21st. But I got to imagine that this news is going to get back to Microsoft. Obviously, it's going viral right now on Twitter. And once it gets back to Microsoft, will this force their hand to release the game or at least announce the game early on? Who really knows? I don't understand the strategy, again, outside of perhaps trying to quell bad press ahead of time. I don't understand the strategy of shadow dropping these games, especially Oblivion Remaster, something that a lot of people would be interested in buying. I gotta imagine. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to hype this up. It's the weirdest thing for me. So it says take this information with a big grain of salt for sure, but all signs are pointing to an April 21st release date for the Oblivion Remaster. Again, guys, we're gonna see what ends up happening with this particular video game. I know Cassie is bricked right now. Cult Classic Cage is absolutely bricked. We're talking massively bricked off of this news, and I know she's been waiting for this game ever since she got news of it potentially coming out. But I'm excited. I am excited to check out Oblivion again remastered. Hopefully these
Yeah, would be interesting, but again, what's gonna happen? Because they can push back this date if they. That's the thing. They can. This is their reasoning why they could push. Oh, because it got spoiled, and then they push it back. Anyway, that was Hypnotic. What's gonna happen? Nobody knows. But now at least we have a date, and it's 5 days from. Is it even 5 days? No, it's 4 days. Whatever. Bye.